defensive skills, or will Ismail Armani be able to reveal the power and strength of Single Strike Lugia with the Single Strike Urshifu and give out huge one-hit knockouts?
That's exactly what I was going to ask you next, Devan. I was going to ask you, like, what is the key card, you know, for both these players? But now we're going straight into the match. Wow, that's a quick start from our players. Wong Chun Sing immediately with a comfy start. Ismail Armani with a Lugia V. Chun Sing with flower selecting right away. Second, playing at blistering speed. Second flower selecting right off the bat. That Comfey there, the backbone of the Lost Zone deck. Flower selecting 2 cards off top your deck, putting one into your hand and the other into the Lost Zone. We've seen Energy as well as a Nest Ball hitting the Lost Zone. And there's even a Spiritomb from Chun Sing. Interesting situation. No Lumineon for Ismail Armani.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, basically the reason why a lot of people are opting for Spiritomb, it's because of its unique ability. It is basically an ability that inhibits your Pokemon with your basic Pokemon V from using their abilities. But of course, in this case, it's only going to inhibit the Lumineon V. But then, of course, Ismail Armani has different ways on how he could circumnavigate by basically getting his Archeops, which is the plan for the first game. He needs to discard at least 2. Well, that's basically all he needs in order for him to evolve to Lugia Vstar next turn and then start accelerating energy with Archeops. So over here, if we're going to feature the card on the side, Archeops has a unique ability, and you know, we've seen this time and time again. It's called Primal Turbo. So basically, once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon. So that goes for each of the Archeops. But now going over to
that was a very quick turn.
side.
I was going to say for Ismail Armani, right? Just to read a win and discarding an Archeops after that capturing Aroma. And Chun Sing now right off the bat with the Colress experiment, putting the Radiant Greninja into the Lost Zone. That is interesting. But I guess with that Goodra now on the bench, Chun Sing says, hey, I don't need concealed cards. I don't need to use, you know, Radiant Greninja at all in this game. I'm going to go straight into my Goodra and figure it out what to do from there.
And of course, you know, Wong Chun Sing working fast as he can. You know, it's already his second turn, but he already has about 5 cards in the Lost Zone. So of course, just needs 2 more to activate the Mirage Gate. But let's see what he will do now.
Yep, you see the Hisuian Goodra there on your screen. And the Goodra V is not really the big deal here. It's actually the Goodra Vstar, which I believe we should see next turn. But before that, here comes the Cramorant. Speed instantly, 110 damage on this Lugia V. Now, over to you, Ismail Armani. What do you have on your turn 2? Because Chun Sing looks to be set up at this point.
So as we can see here, there is that Lugia Vstar. So Lugia Vstar. Well, basically, he is going to go for the Nest Ball first, but if we're going to look at Lugia Vstar, it does have the Summoning Star ability. That's the reason why you're discarding the Archeops and the discard. You're placing him on the discard pile because of its Vstar. So the Vstar, basically during your turn, you may put up to 2 colorless Pokemon that are that don't have a rule box from your discard pile into your bench. So that's why you don't need the evolution cards of Archeops.
Exactly, and here comes the Urshifu, and only a single Archeops though, using Summoning Star just to get a single Archeops, because I think Ismail Armani sees the writing on the wall. He knows he needs to get his Urshifu set up, ready, lock and loaded, in order for him to get into the game. So a single Archeops with Primal Turbo there, as you mentioned, Devan. And I think I agree with this play. I find this to be interesting enough that, you know, for Ismail Armani, it's awkward, I want to say, obviously, if you're playing Lugia and you're going to get a single Archeops, but it has been done before. Now here comes the single strike Urshifu.
And there is the boss's
order. Impact blow, knocking out the Goodra. Wong Chun Sing immediately on the back foot here. No Goodra. And this doesn't look great for Chun Sing. Oh, there goes the V-Star as well that he would have gotten if it just like had one turn. Oh, but here comes the Zamazenta. This is going to be interesting. Zamazenta with the Mirage Gate. Chun Sing playing quick, playing fast. He sees the writing on the wall. He knows what he's going to do next.
And what's good about the Zamazenta card is its retaliate attack. The effect is basically if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, which happened, That attack does 120 more damage, so it does a total of 220, which is going to be enough to basically, you know, knock out the Urshifu V.
It feels like a bait. It feels like Chunsing baited that out. He dropped that Zamazenta instantly the moment he had his turn. It feels like he read the signs a little bit and felt that, all right, if you're going to go for a knockout on his Goodra, you're going to be using a single strike Urshifu V that is not a V-Star or VMAX or V-Star. It's going to get knocked out from the Zamazenta. He benched it immediately. And here comes 220 damage from Retaliate. Taking a knockout on his Pokemon V.
Math.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
And with Wong Chunsing taking 2 prize cards, so both are down to 4. And we see the Archeops. Now, this is going to be a bit dangerous for Izmir Armani because he only has 1 Archeops in play. He will not be able to put any other. So the strategy for Wong Chunsing would be to basically knock out the Archeops and basically cancel out the energy acceleration, because Lugia is a pretty hefty Pokemon. It would need a lot of energy, similar to basically the deck itself for the single strike deck. Our Tyranitar V, our Snorlax, our Yveltal, basically all cards there would need a lot of energy. And of course, as you can see there, the Snorlax is already put down there. Snorlax with the unfazed Fat ability, basically preventing all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon, but basically there are no additional effects that is currently happening right now. But we're going to focus on Thumping Snore, which is 3 energy that does 180 damage. That basically puts the Pokemon to sleep, and you have to flip twice. However, there is an amazing special energy that is attached to Snorlax. It is the one and only therapeutic energy, which basically
it
circumnavigates the attack.
It nullifies it altogether, and we will see a Thumping Snore here coming out from Izmir Armani Snorlax. That jet energy paying dividends here, attaching 2 energies via the Archeops from the deck. Having the jet energy in hand means that he could switch out that Archeops from play, from the bench I should say, and into the Snorlax now, able to return knockout on this Zamazenta. We did see it under Vitality. Oh, here comes an Iono as well. So Armani also having a decent enough turn here. It looks like he's going to be able to at least respond with a knockout on Zamazenta. Iono down to 4 cards to each of these players. It's an interesting matchup right now, right? We don't see a Goodra on Chunsing's side of the field, and we don't see the Urshifu anymore on Armani's side of the field.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to say the least. We don't have any recovery for the Urshifu, unfortunately. So Armani is locked out of that Urshifu.
So yeah, that is it. That's gonna be it basically for Izmir Armani's one-hit wonders with single strike Urshifu. Basically we only saw the V, not the VMAX. Of course, it cannot evolve anymore because it's already in the discard pile.
Yep, here comes knockout, Thumping Snore, draw a prize. There goes Zamazenta. Chunsing playing quick, playing fast. Comfey into the active. Here comes the Sableye. Interesting. What's he gonna go for? Looks like a second flower selecting. Ooh, almost put the second Sableye into the lost zone. And I think he's still... Okay, he's deliberating. I didn't see what was put in there, but he's playing fast. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Here comes the Mirage Gate. Psychic Energy. It's interesting that the deck that Chunsing chose to bring has both Sableye as well as Zamazenta. It's a very tuned toolbox style Goodra list, right? We don't even see a Goodra right now. So we will see a Lost Mine, and he's choosing to put all 12 counters on the Archeops, telling Armani, hey, you know what? You only have a single Archeops. Let me go for it. Let me lock you out of options, and you will have to use your Primal Turbos early now, rather than get a chance to choose and, you know, decide later on.
Absolutely. And of course here Izmir Armani on the other side of the bench, he did play down a Tyranitar V. Probably is thinking about that because of course, as we know, with the typical Lost Zone builds, it is basically you getting you could constantly drawing cards, putting one to the Lost Zone, putting one in the hand, here and there. And of course with Tyranitar, attack called Cragalanche basically allows you to discard 2 energy 2 cards from your opponent's deck, Or if you decide to go with the single strike crush, which is also possible in case the Goodra would be there, as long as you have complete single strike energy attached to Tyranitar V, it would basically do a one-hit knockout if ever we see a Goodra Vstar. But then the drawback is you discard the top 4 cards of your deck.
Yeah, very interesting situation. We do see now a Yveltal come down for Armani. It's going to be one more single prizer that Chunxing has to navigate around. Armani playing it smart here, making sure that, hey, if I'm going to be attacking with Pokemon, let me use my single prizes as well as a Tyranitar. We see 3 energies onto the Tyranitar now in the form of 2 cards, so double turbo as well as single strike energy. We probably will not see this Archeops get a chance to attack again, so maybe that Yveltal was more just in the deck in hand than anything else. Over back to Chunxing, flower selecting really quick. I'm amazed at how quick these players are playing. It just goes to show that they are so comfortable with the decks that they choose to bring to this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as much as possible, I really tried my hardest at best to play Lost Box, but then you know it's too difficult. You know, lots of cards to keep count, and of course, you know, here we get to see that Wong Chunxing making quick decisions because he has already mastered the list.
Yeah, no, I mean I love my Hisuian Goodra. I just can't play Lost Box, so I play Arceus Goodra. It's the only way for me to play a Dragon Pokemon that I really like. I just put Arceus into it. We see here Raihan now coming from Chunxing, getting back the Psychic energy and getting to search a card from the deck. It's going to be interesting what he selects next. I honestly though, I think Armani is a very good position here. He's 4 prizes up at this point, and Chunxing is not threatening to take this game in 2 attacks, but Armani is.
And of course, as you can see on Armani's board, even though there is a possible chance that the Archeops will get knocked out, what's basically happening right now, we still have a Snorlax, we still have the Tyranitar V fully charged up, and of course he is trickling damage here and there, you know, trying to set up the perfect math in order for him to take out multiple prizes. But then of course Izmir Armani is sitting a little bit better on in terms of the board state because of, you know, those 2 Pokemon ready. Just, you know, take 2 more knockouts and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, the Snorlax is unchecked. The single strike Tyranitar V is left unchecked. It's not looking good for Chunxing. I don't see how he's gonna go for 3 prizes. Potentially it's on the Lugia V and that Yveltal, but I don't think he can get there with a single lost mine, I believe. Can he though? I'm just trying to figure out the math and what damage counters you see already on the screen. I think he's still a little bit short, considering that he had to put 3 damage counters on the Archeops. Oh, hang on a second. There was a Lumineon played down, but rather unfortunately, Lumineon sign cannot be used because there is a Spiritomb in play. Threatened in misfortune indeed, my friend. But thankfully, Armani had a Professor Research. I think he didn't play it down for any reason other than the fact that he wanted to maybe go for like an Iono or something. But thankfully, Chunxing said, hey, there is a Spiritomb here, so you have to play the research that you had in your hand.
And definitely, you know, Spiritomb, a card to watch out for. You know, typically players would just look at the stadium cards if there are any in play. Then, of course, Spiritomb has Fettered in Misfortune. Basically, basic Pokemon V have no abilities. So yeah, that Luminous sign of Lumineon V would not be working.
Yes, but I think at this stage, you know, Armani looks to be in a pretty decent position, taking another knockout with the Snorlax. Snorlax having a field day, gobbling up all these knockouts. Now, can Chunxing grab 3 prizes in a turn? Because if he isn't able to, I don't see him being able to win this game, and I think it's probably best to go to a game 2 right away, save some time. I believe the Lugia has 200 damage on it. And yes, he could go for another Lost Mine, I want to say.
So yeah, looking at the damage counters, Lugia has 190 damage counters.
Right.
190 damage, so 19 damage counters. And for Lugia, I'm sorry, but I cannot seem to see how many damage counters Lugia. Yveltal has.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't think there's even a single counter on it. I don't know. Maybe there is. But regardless of the fact, here comes a Super Rod, recycling back those 2 Sableye. for Chunsing. And also a Psychic Energy. The first flower selecting so far gets him a, I think it was a Jet Energy, not what you're looking for. Here comes a boss. So Chunsing here probably trying to stall out the play. Alright, here comes another flower selecting. What's he grabbing? The Hisuian Heavy Ball goes in, just passes the turn. Now, does Ismail Mani have a way to retreat his Yveltal? If it does, that's game one going his way. No, it's just a boss.
The boss, the Spiritomb.
And pass. It's down to the wire here, folks. This is interesting. You know, both players just going for bosses order plays to try and stall the opponents out. But Chunsing here, oh, he has a Roxanne.
Oh my goodness, Roxanne.
Oh, is he turning a corner here with his Roxanne? It's his only copy as well.
So yeah, Roxanne is a very powerful card, especially in this scenario.
Oh, he got the Sableye as well.
Oh my goodness.
Mirage Gate for the Psychic Energy. I think he knows what's going to happen next.
There we go. And we're just going to wait for the Roxanne play. Is he going to do it?
No, I think he says, you know what? I don't think you have it. I'm going to go Lost Mine here and put you on a 1-turn clock. Benching the Yveltal now, coming back to haunt Armani. He has no way to retreat it. That's
goodness.
2 retreat cards as well on that Yveltal. He has to draw into a double turbo.
Turbo energy.
That's it.
Precisely.
So there goes a knockout on the Lugia. And if I'm Chunsing, I'm just going to go and put the rest of the damage counters onto the Yveltal.
Yep, and there we go. We can see that right there. So yeah, basically a huge turn of events for Wong Chunsing, especially, you know, with that boss helping. And of course, with the absence of that Archeops not being able to accelerate the energy.
He drew an energy, but that's not the energy that he needs. That's a V-card energy that he drew.
So yeah, it's not going to be enough. That's only going to be good for 1 retreat.
Oh my gosh. And that's it. What a turn of events. Chunsing eking out a win, coming back from 3 prize down to Armani's single prize, and he gets the win from that.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you know, it seemed gloomy for Chunsing at first. You know, we were thinking about he should, you know, save time and scoop. But then, of course, now getting to see how well he understands and knows his deck, being able to create such a powerful counter. And, you know, with Chunsing looking at the discard pile of Izmir earlier, basically checking that, let's see how many double turbo you have. You only had 1 Archeops in play and I knocked 1 out. There's no energy acceleration here. Let's try to slow things down and then, you know, try my best to, you know, secure that win. And he actually did.
Yep, exactly. That single Archeops coming back to haunt Izmir Armani there, because it allowed Chunsing to remove his only way of accelerating energy. And then perhaps benching the Yveltal, you know, costs Armani a little bit of tempo, and then eventually the game. You know, obviously you want to go into your single prizes, but if you don't have any energy attached to them, you're just running the risk of being stalled out like that from a single boss's order. And Chunsing navigating that game, you know, rather professionally, I want to say. You know, we didn't even see a Goodra get gain an attack in. It was purely just the rest of the Lost Zone box. Zamazenta, Sableye, all of them carrying their weight, and Goodra just sitting in the deck and saying, hey, I'm just here for the ride. Alright, here comes Zamani now with starting off the Lugia V inactive, Comfey inactive for Chunsing, exactly as what we saw in game 1.
Yep, just attach a therapeutic energy and just passes.
Alright, nothing much to do as your Lugia deck on turn 1 anyway.
Now over here on Chunsing's side, of course, starting with a flower selected from Comfey. He's currently checking what and deciding what card to discard. So it would be a Pokégear, and he decides to keep the Battle VIP Pass, which of course he will be using to get more Pokemon and then start that process.
We have seen this time and again today. We saw it in the Mew VMAX deck. We saw it in the other Lost Zone decks. Battle VIP Pass, a staple of the format. Not every deck plays it. Some decks play 1, some decks play a full set of 4, but its power is not to be trifled with. We do see a Comfey and a Radiant Greninja for Chunsing. I would presume this is his way of setting up. And here comes a Concealed Cards, discarding a basic energy, draw 2. Perfect start so far from Chunsing.
And as we see here, he attaches the water and basically retreats to the other Comfey. And then does flower selecting, and then discards the Goodra Vstar. and then plays another Comfey and plays an Escape Rope.
Oh, wow.
And another flower selecting. Such a powerful turn one for Chun-Sing.
Just missing a Colress experiment into a Cramorant.
Absolutely.
That would make the game a little bit too perfect for him. He does have a Cramorant. Oh my gosh. Alright. It's only 3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's just a pass. Oh, that's interesting. Chun-Sing realized, or did not realize, that he did not reach 4 cards to activate Lost Provisions.
And that is it going to be for Armani. Just a read of the wind, discarding that Archeops, and then drawing 3 cards.
And immediately Chun-Sing going into that Jet Energy into Comfey. Now he has 4 cards in the Lost Zone. Interesting turn of events in terms of how this play is setting up. You know, Armani doesn't seem to have much going on for him. No way to get a Lugia Vstar at this juncture. There is an Archeops already in the discard pile thanks to that read the wind, but that's about it.
So yeah, let's see here what is. Hopefully he gets a Colress experiment, and yes, he does.
There you go. Colress experiment. Pokégear, one of the unsung heroes of a Lost Zone deck, choosing to run it. All you want in the early turns for a Lost Zone deck is that Colress experiment. Now Chun-Sing hits it. Look at top 5. Taking 3 essentially and putting 2 into the Lost Zone.
So there goes the Battle VIP Pass. It's only good for the first turn of the player, of course. So that is an excellent fodder for Colress. And as you can see there is Goodra V entering the field. But then of course it is only going to be effective next turn when it evolves. So of course we're going to go to Cramorant. Of course there are more than 4 cards in the Lost Zone, which basically gives his pet innocently a free attack.
Yeah. And Armani now, I don't see him coming back so quickly unless he's able to get the hits on his Mesagoza. He needs to get hits on this one.
So Mesagoza, basically flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for a Pokemon. If tails, then it's not.
Oh no, not like this. Not like this. This doesn't look good for Armani at this point. He does have a backup Lugia V, but he's not putting any threats on the board at this stage. No Archeops on the bench. Well, no Lugia Vstar to begin with. Oh wait, hang on. He does have a Lugia Vstar.
Does have a Lugia Vstar, but he is debating whether or not he is just going to promote that single Archeops, because as we know, and we have seen during the last match, once that single Archeops is out of the field, it's going to be hard to accelerate that energy.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to debate whether or not he would go with it, but I think he's just... No, he's deciding to go with Read the Wind, so discarding the Lugia Vstar.
And there we go with face-off.
Oh my gosh, Jet String to his 3 Ultra Ball. That is nasty.
Yeah, basically allowing him next turn to basically get an Archeops and then use another Ultra Ball to discard that Archeops like he just got into another Lugia Vstar.
But now we see a Hisuian Goodra Vstar on the bench for Chun-Sing. That is the scary threat that Armani has to try and break through. Rolling Iron, a menacing attack, doing a ton of damage as well as protecting the Goodra Vstar from some of the damage as well. We see a Mesagoza here for Armani. What's he going for? Yep, that's an Archeops.
So he's going for an Archeops. And definitely will be playing the Ultra Ball.
He already has a Lugia Vstar in his hand anyway. Yeah, so
perfect.
So yeah,
going for the Capturing Aroma, basically flip a coin. If heads, then you basically get to search for an evolution Pokemon. If tails, it is a basic Pokemon.
Yep, so I think for Armani's sake now, he definitely wants to figure out a way to set up multiple attackers to navigate around this Hisuian Goodra Vstar that's already on the bench for Chun-Sing, with 1 energy attached as well. And he has to also keep in mind about the Zamazenta, because if he takes a knockout here in any shape or form, you know, that Zamazenta will come back with a Mirage Gate and a single attachment. It's going to be something that he needs to worry about, right? Lumineon V, okay.
I think I see what play he is actually thinking about doing here. There is a possibility that if there are enough single strike energies in play, there could be a possible knockout if he does get the boss and is able to retreat that Yveltal, and if he promotes the Tyranitar.
That is true, but he opts to go for, I believe, the Snorlax. So maybe playing it safe. It really depends if he has a boss order in hand, which I don't think he does, but not yet because he does have Lumineon.
And as you can see there, you know, with Lugia Summoning Star being used, so its full potential, 2 Archeops is now in play, so he could basically accelerate 4 energy. And he decided to attach single strike energies, 3 of them. So first 2 with the first Archeops, and then just 1 with the second Archeops. 2 Yveltal. And I think we're going to see single strike wings for 110 plus 60, because each single strike energy contributes an additional 20 damage.
That's right, you'll see the Snorlax come down. So Armani, oh, he has the boss. Interesting. So he's going to try and 2-shot the Hisuian Goodra Vstar. Yeah, he had the boss there. That's the new boss, Jetsis, from the latest Paldea Evolve set. I'm not a full art guy, Devon. I probably should be, because that art looks really nice. But
such an amazing card.
But we do see Yveltal attacking here into this Hisuian Goodra Vstar. So now Chunting has to figure out how does he get the get an attack going. He does have Moisture Star as a Vstar ability if he so chooses to use it.
And I think Izmir Armani is playing the long game, because of course the concern with Lugia is the energy output, the energy plays, and you know, by trying to 2-shot the Hisuian Goodra Vstar at the beginning would force them to use Moisture Star and basically, you know, heal off so that he could set out potential 1-hit attackers, or probably 2-shot in future turns.
Yeah, but the one thing that I don't like right now for Izmir's side of the field is that he does not have the single strike Urshifu already in play, because that just, you know, screams retaliate for knockout if that single strike Urshifu V ever lands on the bench, because we know Chunting has Zamazenta already in play, in hand I should say, rather in play. But we're now moving into Comfey, flower selecting, nope, retreat to a second Comfey, Switch Cart into the lost zone. What did he grab? That was a really quick from Chunting. Oh, Mirage Gate, okay. Important card there. Moisture Star being used.
There we go.
There you go. Chunting valuing the health of his Hisuian Goodra Vstar. And that's a knockout with Rolling Iron. So 200 damage, knocking out that Snorlax.
And that is the looming threat that Hisuian Goodra Vstar is now in effect, because if it's Rolling Iron, basically dealing 200 damage, but with an additional effect that basically, for your opponent, the Pokemon takes 80 less damage from attacks.
Yeah, so, and our money's way around that would have been the single strike Urshifu VMAX, which he does not have access to at this stage, because he doesn't have the V on the bench already. And also the fact that all of these single strike energies, or at least 3 of them, are attached to the Yveltal right now. So it's interesting how he's going to navigate this. Yeah,
just going to be an Iono play, but of course he searched for it with Lumineon, so he does have to shuffle his deck first before shuffling his hand and then putting it under.
I must say both these players seem to be able to navigate their decks really well in this matchup, you know. So Iono being played, Chunting down to 4 cards, Armani drawing fresh hand of 6 or 5, I should say, or 6 actually.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, no, I realized that the previous turn he did not take a knockout. Here comes a Nest Ball. What will we see? It's going to be Tyranitar. Okay. Now, in this stage, the Tyranitar will not be enough to take a knockout, even though you could use single strike crush for 240 damage. That gets, you know, that gets reduced by 80, so 160. And even with 4 single strike energies, it will still only do 240. The 30 shy. Lugia does not run Choice Bell, I don't think. At least not at the moment anymore. So definitely no way for Armani to knock out this Hisuian Goodra Vstar in 1 hit.
And there's also no other pivot cards aside from, you know, boss orders directly, so you won't be seeing any escape ropes and boss orders here to nullify the effect of Hisuian Goodra Vstar.
Yeah, it just seems like it's just going to be a single strike wings here from this Yveltal. Yep, that's going to be just 90 damage, so 170 and minus of 80. 90 damage on Hisuian Goodra Vstar does put it within 2-hit range of the Tyranitar, unless Chunting has another way around this situation. We've seen him navigate pretty well.
And there we go. Knockout from the Lugia. So basically, Wang Chunxing an inch closer to securing a win. And as you can see there is the Urn of Vitality, basically shuffling the single strike energies that were attached initially to Lugia and now are being transferred to Tyranitar V thanks to Archeops' ability.
Yep. Now we will have to try and navigate. I mean, Amani has to try and navigate the situation pretty carefully. If he runs out of Urn of Vitalities, that's goodbye to all the single strike energies. But it seems like he's so far content with just the 2. Now the question is, what are the other options that he has? A therapeutic and a jet energy. All right. So that would mean it's 240 damage with the
single
reduction.
Strike Crush.
Yeah, single strike crush. Reduction of 80 makes it 160 plus 40. That's 200. That is just enough for a knockout on this Hisuian Goodra Vstar.
And as you can see over there, single strike crush, and of course,
that's a very nasty discard.
Yeah.
That was another Urn of Vitality.
That is the drawback of Tyranitar V. It does whop a huge punch with the single strike crush. However, you are discarding the top 4 cards of your own deck.
And now Amani is down 2 Urn of Vitalities. He does have a single one left.
But then, of course, we would want to keep that intact. And of course, there is a looming threat that is possible for Zamazenta to come into play. But then, of course, the good thing about it is Tyranitar V does have 230 HP. So the Zamazenta would basically deal 220 damage, which is 10 short.
Yeah, 10 short being a crucial factor here for Wang Chunxing. Otherwise, this game would have been wrapped up. And there isn't any more Goodra on his side of the field, at least right now. And I think benching Goodras right now will not be in his best interest anyway. It just quickens the clock for him.
Yeah.
So Chunxing will probably rely on the single prizes, I want to say, at this juncture.
You know, if basically the optimal strategy here would, just focus on single prize attackers. You could probably use Cramorant to deal damage to Tyranitar, and then probably finish it off with another Pokemon, ideally Zamazenta, because that would be enough in range for you to take 2 prize cards.
That is true. And we see Sableye. We know what Sableye did last game. Alright.
Sableye with potential Sprunker of the Lost Mine, spread 12 damage counters anywhere you like.
But we see Chunxing opting for just a speed innocently. Not so innocent when you put a Lugia within a knockout range for a Zamazenta. So not that innocent. Back to Armani's turn here. He's in the driver's seat, I believe, even though he's 2 prizes down. I think Armani is favored here because he can definitely navigate around. The only question is, would he risk taking a knockout here with that Lugia? I don't think so. I think you'd want to Iono Chunxing down if you have to use the Lugia.
Yeah, because of course, the kryptonite, or the weakness rather, of the Lost Zone deck is basically Iono.
Yeah.
Because of course you want all your resources in your hand, and of course by having that supporter being played out, it's gonna, defy the odds of you getting the resources that you need.
Exactly. So I think now Amani is trying to make sure that he navigates this very carefully, right? He does not want to expose this Lugia in the active, but at the same time, he has to give it a little thought, right? Like taking a knockout here in any circumstance without Iono, and here is the Iono. That's exactly the play that he needed right now to ensure that he stays in this game, right? Iono, throwback to N, throwback to Rocket's admin, but in a different flavor, right? Even Marnie to an extent. So you shuffle your hand to your deck, put it underneath your deck, much like Marnie used to do, and you draw cards based on the number of cards remaining in your prizes. So a disruptive card that I think we needed in the format.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good call out to those in, the Pokemon Company for printing a stellar card for Paldea Evolve. I love the set. The Paldea Evolve set is amazing.
And I actually love the Iono card even more. I know it's basically debatable for the community, but then between N and Iono, I would prefer Iono.
I see.
Because it allows you to basically completely disrupt your opponent, because if they have the resources they need on their hand, it's going to be put to the bottom of the deck. Unlike with N, you have an opportunity to draw into it.
That is true. It does add a different level of skill for that. And I think now back to Chunsing's side of the field. That knockout on the Cramorant done, dusted. Wong Chunsing now going to try the route with Sableye once again. That Lugia doesn't look really healthy anymore. And, you know, knowing Lugia decks, they don't run something like Volo where it allows you to just, you know, discard a Pokemon V. That Lugia is staying in play. It will get knocked out if Wong Chunsing has multiple Lost Mines available to him.
Absolutely, and you know, that is a threat looming. Of course, Izmir Armani still 3 prize cards away. And of course, you know, Chunsing taking his sweet time, you know, trying to trickle down as many damage counters as he can, especially on that 2 prizer, specifically Lugia Vstar.
That is spot on. Here comes Lost Mine from that Sableye. 12 damage counters onto that Lugia.
So Lugia is only down to 40 hit points left.
50, I believe. 120, 120 and 110. So Armani, crunch time. Does he have a way of preventing Chunsing from another Sableye? I didn't see another Iono. Even then, I don't know if it's going to be a, you know, a way out for him, considering that these Lost Zone decks, they always seem to get out of it, right? With flower selecting, concealed cards, they always have a way to get out of the sticky situations.
Now that is basically the power of the Lost Box decks.
Well, now Chunsing. Oh, by the way, Crackerline discarding 2 cards. Discards the Klara and the Roxanne.
Very essential resources for
the Klara was huge. Oh no, what's going on?
The Super Rod.
It's a Super Rod. But is there a way for him to get it?
He would. That's going to be a tough decision, because he would basically need to get that Lost Mine.
I don't think so.
Get the Sableye, get that energy card, but then he would basically have to retreat to another Comfey, and he doesn't have an out.
Yeah, no, that Klara was the one card that Chunsing needed to take this game. And Armani, look at him, he's on edge.
Oh man, he sees the Super Rod's like, I don't know if he's able to pull this off. We're gonna find out.
It's gonna be interesting. I don't know how it's gonna what's gonna happen here.
So Sableye, 2 Sableye and 1 Psychic Energy.
Oh, there we go. Chunsing is just going for this play where I'm just gonna draw into my outs. There is a double turbo energy.
Retreat.
And it's just gonna discard Chunsing's deck at this point. Oh, there it is. No, Chunsing has no way of attacking. That would have just been 1 card short. This is going down to our first game 3 of the day. I'm excited for this one, Devon. That was a close one. Amazing game from these 2 players.
Definitely, you know, this is how we get to showcase these decks in action, because of course, you know, Wang Chunsing's strategy, of course, is to set up the Hisuian Goodra Vstar and try to, you know, defend its way to victory. And of course, Izmir Armani, you know, if you have that Hisuian Goodra Vstar in play, I'm gonna use my single strike Urshifu VMAX to try to knock it down. However, we haven't seen those fully intact yet.
We have not. It's an interesting situation. Both these players playing their decks to the maximum capability that their decks are able to offer. I'm still enjoying this matchup so far. We didn't think this matchup was going to go very long, to be really honest, Evan. But it's turning out to be a nail biter. Both games going down to the wire. You know, Chunsing eking out the win in game 1 with a perfectly timed boss play on a Pokemon that Armani could not retreat. And then in game 2, Armani coming back strong, going with the Craglange route, discarding the Klara. Just when Chunsing thought he had it, he had that game locked up. And now we go to a game 3. I'm excited.
And well, of course, Chunsing has the opportunity to decide who goes first. And of course, we think, and you know, all the players out here know that he is definitely going to go first.
I think so too. I think it's an interesting matchup to say the least, and we will be treated to a game 3 now. See the play set up.
As you can see, there is a mulligan.
Yep, mulligan for Izmir Armani. Chun-Sing says, thank you for that one card that I'll get.
Oops, there we go. Just a couple of hiccup with placing the hand down to go right there. Of course, both of our players eager to start playing now, because this will basically determine who would basically be battling out the next round.
Well, that is the final round. It's the finals after this, right? So it's either Wong Chun-Sing from Hong Kong or Hisuian Goodra from Malaysia. It's again Comfey and Lugia. So we've seen this before. Game 1 and Game 2 started exactly the same way.
There we go. Another Comfey, Jet Energy, and Flower selecting. Now 2 cards in the Lost Zone. A Battle VIP Pass.
Oh, it feels like we've been here before.
There you go. And as you can see there, Izmir Armani basically nodding. He's like, yep, that was a good draw right there.
Oh, yes. Slamming that Battle VIP Pass down right away. But remember, for Hisuian Goodra side of the field, he has access to that Professor Burnett. So going second in this game isn't so bad. You know, able to use Lumineon, getting the Burnett, discarding Archeops, which we have seen him struggle to do in the first couple of games. Oh, but I like this from Chun-Sing. He's going straight into the Goodra.
And as you can see there, Artazon being in play, so that is a nice Stadium card. Basically, once during each player's turn, that player may search for their deck for a basic Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. And as we can see there, there is that Spiritomb that would basically inhibit a potential Burnett draw from a Lumineon.
That goes Lumineon V's idea. I'm sad for the fact that I placed the Caster's Curse on it. Oh well, fettered in misfortune, I would say, for all of us. But Hisuian Goodra, turn 1, going second. Let's see what he's able to bring out. He's using the Artazon, looking through his deck. First search, he's eyeing that Snorlax, which I think is a decent attacker here in this matchup. What else does he have? Probably checking through his prizes, figuring out what his prize is. My Urshifu prize? How many Lugia Vstars did I prize? Oh, there we go. There you go. Caster's Curse Reverse Uno right now. There you go.
Who needs a Lumineon? I already have it in my hand.
Yeah, no free prize for the Sableye. Burnett in hand. Perfect.
Such an amazing card. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and discard them, and then shuffle your deck. Perfect for the Lugia deck. You discard basically both of your Archeops, so that the following turn you can go ahead and evolve it. Evolve Lugia to Lugia Vstar, and then use its ability Summoning Star to get the 2 Archeops.
I want to share a very fun story about Professor Burnett here in the Malaysian local scene. I was part of one of the local groups, local chat groups, and this was before the rotation, right? Professor Burnett was just released. Lugia was just released. People are saying, hey, you know, what's the right support account in Lugia? Mind you, this was before the rotation. A fairly new player came in and, you know, said, hey, why don't players play Professor Burnett in Lugia? A fairly new player suggesting something which at that time seemed pretty implausible, seemed impossible, right? Why would you play Burnett? And fast forward to post-rotation, Burnett was a staple, you know, is a staple now for Lugia. So I want to just share that because it just shows how quickly things change in the format, right? It's interesting that new players see a different lens altogether, you know, and mind you, that player, you know, didn't get the best response where everyone's like, hey, you don't need Burnett, you can just play these supporters. But look at every player now playing Lugia. Burnett is a staple. Squawkabilly is also a staple now for Lugia. It's an interesting card.
Who would have imagined?
Squawkabilly EX from the Scarlet and Violet, or actually is it Paldea Evolved set? I want to say.
Yep, it is from the Paldea Evolved set. So it has an ability called Squawk and Seize. So basically, once during your first turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards.
Yep, perfect for a deck like Lugia that wants to discard cards early on, especially those Archeops. Now back to Chun-Sing again. He's playing quick. Multiple cards or multiple turns this series so far. Chun-Sing has just been playing at blistering speed. Pokégear now getting a Raihan, not the Colress experiment that he would have loved to see. Rather, unfortunately. Ooh, we do see the Goodra Vstar.
And
That's in play now, even with an energy attachment.
That is a looming threat. Now, there is a possibility for Izmir Amani to knock it out, but then he would need a lot of resources. He needs a boss, he needs a Tyranitar, and of course, he needs to pivot that Snorlax out of there.
Yep.
But then if Hisuian Goodra Vstar does get an attack out, it's going to be hard to do a one-shot, or basically it's going to be impossible for Izmir Amani to do that next turn.
Exactly, and we do see a Lugia Vstar now. It's going to be a much more fun time for Amani, I want to say. Double Archeops turn 2. This is what the deck is supposed to be doing. Consistently setting up Archeops on turn 2 to use Primal Turbo. One Primal Turbo here being selected by Izmir Amani, and it's probably going to be for, I want to say, double Turbo Energy +1.
And definitely some pickups there, probably during shuffling. Some of the cards where
it happens.
It happens, but yeah, that's totally normal as long as you get to fix it, which he does.
So I think that's a Gift Energy, a Jet Energy. Probably trying to save the double turbo for situations like being bossed up, perhaps.
So it's between
it is double turbo. So double turbo is there. Chooses to shuffle though, so not planning to get a second energy card. So Snorlax needing one more energy. Looks like it's going to be the therapeutic in his hand, which makes sense, right? You don't want this Snorlax to go to sleep and perpetually not be able to wake up.
Absolutely. So basically, that is going to be it first. Well, no, it's actually hasn't ended his turn yet.
Artazon
decides to use Artazon and then plays on the Veltal. Probably we're going to see more acceleration, either going to be on the Lugia or going to be on
the Veltal. I like this play. Box order. Bring up your Hisuian Goodra Vstar. We saw this play happen in Game 2, which Amani was able to win. He went after the Goodra immediately, nullifies Moisture Star for the late game. And that's something Chun-Sing has to do with right now. Snorlax has put 180 damage on this dragon. And Chun-Sing probably forced into the corner. Moisture Star used on turn 2. Or turn 3, I should say.
And just a pass right there. So basically it is a target. It does not have the minus 80 damage. But then of course, with the Pokemon that's currently in field, it's definitely still going to be a 2-shot.
Uh-oh, this is bad. This is not going well for Chun-Sing. And this is Amani just saying, hey, I don't need to do much. Just take another Thumping Snore for my Snorlax.
Just attach a Gift Energy and then a clean 160 damage.
160, yes, exactly. And just a pass.
Whoa.
Amani is in the driver's seat right now. Take a knockout, draw 2 prizes. I don't have to play a single thing. My deck is just going to sit here and take prizes.
So flower selecting, let's see what he has. It is a Nest Ball.
Oh, this is going...
So it is possible that we're going to see a Retaliator from here?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's one option that Chun-Sing has. I think it's the only option he has if he wants to take a clean knockout on his Snorlax.
And there we go with Boss going to the Lost Zone with the second flower selecting.
I don't think we've seen a Colress experiment from Chun-Sing this game. And that's the major difference, right? In both Game 1 and Game 2, he was able to get into his deck pretty efficiently thanks to that Colress experiment. This time round, he's struggling for cards. We only just see the Radiant Greninja get benched for concealed cards.
And that's it. Basically, I saw the Colress on his hand. There's a possibility that he might play it or might go through the Raihan route.
Yeah,
and there is a Colress experiment.
Yeah, no, it's definitely delayed at this point. So hopefully getting him into a situation where he's able to get cards into his hand and form an attack somehow. That's 4 cards, I think, in the Lost Zone right now. It turns on Spit Innocently, or I should say turns on Lost Provision, so that Spit Innocently gets activated. Here comes an Escape Rope play.
So there goes the Veltal.
Okay, so third flower selecting for Wang Chun-Sing. Does that activate does that activate the Mirage Gate? I want to say he's 1 card short, or maybe he is at 7 cards right now.
Definitely we're going to wait and see. I don't think so because he does have the Mirage Gate in hand. He probably has 1 more to go.
I think it might be 7 already. but it's probably not ideal for him. Oh, he can't switch out the Comfey. And Amani is just going to say, hey, my Yveltal can attack too. Let me just get some energies on it.
Here we go. The single strike energies.
This is what Lugia is supposed to do, right? Getting energy out onto your attackers. You don't have to play much from your hand. You just sit there and just take prize cards.
So yeah, definitely giving a 60 damage boost because again, for single strike energy, as long as it's attached to a single strike Pokemon, it provides fighting and darkness energy. But the additional effect for this, it basically does 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon.
Exactly. And oh, here comes the boss order. Amani's hunting down threats. I'm going to go after Radiant Greninja. And in the last 2 turns, Amani has only played 2 cards. He attached a single strike energy from his hand to the Yveltal, and he played a boss. And that's all he has needed to do so far. The deck is working like clockwork at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Ismail Amani, in case of any issues, he did get the Jet energy. He does have it in hand, so he does have a pivot card in case things go south.
Now Wong Chun Sing using Super Rod, getting back the Radiant Greninja that just got knocked out. He's already down 3 prize cards at this stage. I wonder what he could think of next. Will we see? Oh, it's not first experiment. He does see the Radiant Greninja again.
He's currently debating whether or not he should be removing the escape rope and the Colress experiment.
I think he's not happy to see that the water energy because I think he was looking for a Mirage Gate play in order for him to use.
He does have water in hand as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. So 2 water energies going to the hand.
That is not good.
Yep. That's not great.
Well, thinking about it right now, basically he used a Super Rod for the 3 cards. He got them in that Colress. He got all 3, but then there is the escape rope and the Colress experiment, which is now thinking about sacrificing.
Okay.
And there we go. There goes the Psychic.
Alright, discarding another water tells me that he probably has another Super Rod. Probably. He does run 2. Energy attachment onto the Radiant Greninja, probably trying to set up a Moonlight Shuriken play. But at this stage, it does seem a little too far-fetched. Oh, here comes the second Super Rod. Called it Mirage Gate. 2 energies coming out, so we probably will see it.
There's a Metal Energy and the Water Energy.
Where does he go for prize cards here? Does he go for the Lugia or does he go for the single prizes? I would think the single prizes, right? Go for both the Yveltal as well as the Snorlax.
Absolutely, that is an optimal strategy.
Oh no,
decides to go for the Archeops.
That is interesting.
Probably hoping for a Sableye play the following turn.
Yep, that does set up perfect math for a double knockout on the Archeops, but is it too little too late at this point? Amani is up 3 prize cards and he's not going to slow down.
Absolutely, so now he's just basically checking the energy that he has available and possibly could be attaching it to his other Pokemon. So there is that Gift Energy and that Jet Energy being attached to the Lugia Vstar. So now he has 3 attackers that are ready. So even if you decide to knock out both of the Archeops, 3 Pokemon in play have energies and are able to attack.
Yep, and I don't see there being a stall play situation for Wong Chun Sing this time round. Squawkabilly, I believe, has only a single retreat cost, so stalling via that route may not necessarily be the best possible. No, hang on, it goes into Squawkabilly. Hang on a second. That is interesting.
Energy? I don't know. We might see a Motivate for the first time. So basically, Squawkabilly's Motivate basically attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Oh wait, never mind. It wouldn't work because he doesn't have any basic energy cards from the deck.
I was gonna say that's an interesting situation. What? Squawkabilly, yeah, you're pretty motivational, buddy, but not in a Lugia deck. And I think it's just Amani's just trying to thin his deck here at this point. Just dropping cards here, trying to make sure that he has all outs to lock up this game in the next 3 turns, right? So, yep, retreating that Squawkabilly into considering the Yveltal. Yep, Yveltal comes in. Signal Strike Wings will be more than enough to take a knockout here. And Wong Chun Sing is now 4 prizes down. I believe this game is just a little bit too far for him at this stage.
I agree. And as you can see, oh, almost made a mistake there attaching the Bell Energy.
How does Junsing come back from this?
I don't know. We might see some Sableye magic here and there. So he is going to play the Mirage Gate, attaching the energy probably to the active Comfey or the better Comfey. Okay.
Yep. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of cards left in his deck though.
Oh, here comes Roxanne. Okay. So yeah, basically Roxanne, a powerful card. So basically, when you are, when your opponents already took at least 3 prize cards, you can definitely play this card. So both players shuffle your deck, and you draw 6 cards, while your opponent only draws 2 cards, so limiting their hand size.
Yep, one of the disruptive cards in the format. In addition to cards like Iono and Judge. So we do see the double knockout via Lost Mine from the Sableye. Goodbye, Archeops. But I don't think Armani is phased by that. The Yveltal, the Snorlax, and the Lugia look to be pretty well equipped.
Still there. And you know, down to 1 last prize card. And of course, what is going to be your answer to the Pokemon? And that is it.
Armani goes to the finals here at the Pokemon TCG Asia Open Summer. Navigating through this matchup against Wong Chun Sing, commiserations, but he still did an awesome job getting all the way into the top 4. But that was, I want to say, one of our best games of today.
Absolutely. You know, it is going to be Single Strike Lugia that is going to be on our finals, and we are still waiting for the other matchup. Which do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting regardless of the fact, Ismail Armani